Professor Jun Murai, one of the pioneers of the global internet, often called as the Internet Samurai, will talk about his view on the COVID-19 pandemic and the role of the internet. Okay, thank you very much, Professor Murai. Congratulations for your happy retirement.
Thank you very much. Actually, Keio University kind of rehiring me for the university professor. So.
First thing is, how long have you been involved with the internet?
Internet, that's a great question. I think it's around the 80s. I mean, I started on the researches of computer networks. Start from the domestic research network I started in 84.
Yes.
And probably the global internet was really established in the late 80s, which is 30 plus years.
I see.
Right? The person like Larry Landweaver, Dave Faber, they started to connect the networks around the world. And the ARPANET was one of the components, and then connecting each other. So like CSNet and other things. So that is the start of the international collaboration of the networks.
Now we are facing this global pandemic of so-called COVID-19.
Yes.
And the reason why I'm asking you to speak in English is that, unfortunately, there is not too much information from Japan to the world on real active basis. And you're one of the active actors, so we are obliged to share what's our views to the rest of the world.
Okay.
So the question is the role of the internet and the information society in dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic. What are the unique characters of this COVID pandemic?
Well, it's a very unique. I've been discussing with kind of history professors and also diploma professors,
right.
The international policy people,
yes.
Politicians, and many people. But this is very much a historical event. We are in the middle still, but that's this pandemic, COVID-19, is really the historical experience of a human being. And then it happened in 2019, which is the very special year for the internet, right? The internet. If you count from the event of the ARPANET Unix operating system, then it's a 50th anniversary was 19, and then from the web, it's a 30th anniversary. So then everybody was talking during the 2019 that the coming 30, what's going to be happening for coming 50 years of the internet. We encounter with all of us, around the world. Encountered in here, so that's a kind of historical position of regarding the internet. And then so the first message I generated from the deep in my heart, right? It was internet was on time, and then the internet development was on time. I've been involved in the development of the internet. For the kind of purpose of helping people, connecting everybody everywhere, all over the world, and that has been the kind of goal of the purpose of the internet development. And then if this pandemic happened, and then the fragmented by nation state, people cannot travel, and then if there is no internet, then we cannot imagine that situation, right? And so I really think that 2019, especially the country like Japan, is on this status, which is most of the people can access the internet, and then so anything we can communicate, we can do any social activities, then we can use the internet. That was a great thing. From the timing point of view, and so the Japan, US, Korea, the Europe, all of them, reaching to the 80%, 90% of the population accessing the internet, right? And then those countries at least that utilizing the internet and then making the new social life with coronavirus type, right? And so work from home and the lockdown and the other things. So that's a very much internet is a key environment for the COVID-19 events.
Did you ever imagine when you were developing the internet until recently that the internet would be used for this kind of global crisis?
Yeah, the answer is probably yes to me, because the ideal, like a goal, that every single person in this planet, accessing the internet, that certainly have been, my goal and the other internet developers' goal. And then, so the beyond the border of anything, so beyond the border of, nation state and others. Yeah. And all the computer elements, including these days, the smartphone or the IoT devices, especially myself, have been, working on a standardization of the medical equipment at the hospital. In future, healthcare is one of the major driver of the digital space and the data architecture. We need to work to develop for the standard and the connectivity and the other things have been in my research area, the medical devices. So then suddenly, but it's a very difficult. The medical space is divided in silos among each of the nation states. The medical doctors, try to unlink from the internet because of the obvious reason, right? They want to protect their patients' data, right? And which is very much a private data. So that's natural. I'm not blaming them to do, for that situation. But then eventually, if our data, our personal data, personal health data is going to be kind of shared with the medical doctors and then the hospital medical record, and then working together for those data, then the health care research is going to be much more in advanced manner, right? And therefore, that is probably the very important application area for the future. That was what I was expecting. So basically, I was expecting the kinds of situations, but I was hoping that the healthcare and the kind of medical care purpose, digital data is going to be used by the experts and the non-experts and ourselves are going to be working more like a smart house, smart home, equipment devices, IoT devices, going to be the wearable devices of our own. Is going to be contributing to health and the social health care thing, right? Then that suddenly coming to the reality. So that is a COVID-19. So, in that sense, I was not, of course, expecting this concept coming this earlier situation. That all because of the COVID-19 thing. So everybody now, I believe, they're thinking that this is the healthcare and the medical care in the digital era. What should we do? So, that is a very much, kind of a common issue and the global issue as well. So I didn't expect that this understanding about this issue, which I've been, kind of struggling about for a long time, these days especially, it's not so this is a big new thing.